Welcome, creatures of the night.
Welcome.
Thanks for joining us on the Midnight Graveyard. Be sure to grab some guts and settle
Libation.
in for tonight's chatter about the new movie Him.
Didn't get great reviews. And I was kind of surprised about that.
Yeah.
I thought it was worth seeing. Like even in theater, I was not disappointed when I left. I thought, oh, that was a decent film. Like I have things to like turn over and consider, and it wasn't like a throwaway kind of movie where you're like, oh, okay, I get it. It was a horror and it was scary. There were jump scares and the end. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was a little bit more thoughtful, maybe. What did you think? Were you surprised at some of the reviews?
I really didn't read any of the reviews. I only heard that it wasn't getting well received from you. I didn't look at them myself. I heard from an acquaintance that they saw the movie and didn't enjoy it.
Hmm.
Um, and that was about it. Myself, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of what you'd expect
Yeah.
with knowing who worked on it and the style that I think you saw being advertised for it in the trailers and
Yeah.
leading up to its release. So, I wasn't surprised and I wasn't disappointed at all. Um, yeah, I I really enjoyed the portrayals of football and horror and how closely it was intertwined. Um, and it was a more throughout the entire movie, it was like this intense ride where you were just in anticipation. Um, kind of. Hmm. Like when you're watching a football game.
More suspense.
Yeah. But like when you're watching a football game and there's like, that there's different plays about to be had and you're along for that, right? You're getting
Right.
excited and then you're disappointed and you're sad and you're
Right. You
frustrated.
sort of recognize how much time is left, and you're like, okay, so have an idea of what else is going to happen between here and then, but
Yeah.
not exactly sure, and I have no way of knowing like when those things could happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's a fairly good analogy. I would also say that I enjoyed it. I thought it was absolutely worth seeing in the theater. I even thought that like leaving, I thought that's one that I should watch again because I thought there was probably stuff that I had missed. Um, I was an athlete in high school. I did not play football, but I obviously knew football players.
Right.
Um, and football is sort of just enough of a American culture that I recognized some of the like language and behavior, I guess, from like Marlon Wayans, but also the players where there's like this idea of sacrifice and like
Hmm.
putting your body on the line, putting it all on the line. Um, Uncomfortable and so yeah, sort of scary.
Hmm.
I would say it did an accurate job at depicting the like intensity that can be found in some of these locker rooms for some of these sports, for
Yeah.
football in particular, like incredibly intense, especially depending on what program you're with, what state you're in, all that sort of stuff. Like at the high school level, of course. Once you get to college, it's intense no matter what, I think.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, absolutely. And before we go any further, please remember to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all our new videos and join us for some future live streams. But
yeah, we might do a Poe reading.
yes,
I'm a big Poe fan.
and we will travel to a real cemetery.
And do a live stream, read some Poe.
But anyway, back
Hang out.
to our movie Him. Um, I, it starts off in the beginning showing that generational bond that exists around football and the words that are used, right? The team, they are the saviors. I think a lot, just knowing who worked on this, I feel like everything was very
Oh
intentionally
yeah,
done.
absolutely.
I feel like there's probably people that hate the movie because they think it's just ridiculous, but growing up with just family being important and a big deal, it really can become like a cult.
Yeah.
And I think they did a good job at capturing that awkwardness. Like you're either with us or against us. And if you want this bad enough, this
You'll
is
do
what you'll
anything.
do. Yes. Like
Yeah.
and I guess the way people get sucked into cults, right? Like your family, you're
Yep.
with us.
Looking for belonging.
And we build you up from there in a
Love
way,
bombing.
yes, before we come in hard.
Yep.
Um,
No, there was absolutely some of that.
right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. They did a good job of like mixing that with the intensity that's inherent and sort of comes with competing at that level in any sport or like facet, really. Like once you're at a certain point, then it gets into a space where like, yeah, this is serious.
Hmm.
No matter how you're approaching it seriously.
Hmm.
So I thought they did a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the scenes when he was taking care of like his muscles, his aches
Yeah.
after pushing his body so hard, um, were really creepy. And they were just using things that we've heard of, like an ice bath, right? Like nothing that's really out of place. But what was really cool is that where the setup was, he's on a private residence, but the layout was like like he was in the center of an altar, right? Like there were
Yeah.
odd shapes of doors, so it was like just very very visually
Yeah.
captivating to see it. And then just if you know anything about like magic and Wicca and different practices like that, you can see that that was exactly what was captured there with like,
They were also doing that. Yeah.
yeah,
No, I agree.
so that was like you were uncomfortable, right? And you're like watching someone get into like an ice bath and it's like dark, the lights just turned off. You're like, "Oh God, I feel like you're about to be sacrificed." Like, so yeah, there was a lot of that, which was cool. And you had mentioned when we left, because we saw it in the theaters,
Yeah.
um, that like you noticed some actual plays or body movements from when players get hit.
Oh yeah. Um, I mean, yeah, they ran, certain plays. That's just football. But the what I had mentioned was, I think what's called the fencing response in medicine, or a decoordinate response, and that's just like your brainstem gets damaged in a way. If you've played contact sports or have seen tragedies, you'll recognize like this kind of like your hands clench
Up.
in and like up toward the chest, and like yeah, it's like a very unnatural kind of position, and they used that at one point, I think, and I thought, oh, that's very impressive. Obviously, like they are trying to insinuate or tell the audience like, this guy gets up and he might never be the person he was before he ran that last play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you know enough about the medicine and stuff. And so I thought that was really impressive because I don't know that I've seen that in other films. And obviously that's one of the biggest concerns when you're talking about contact sports,
Oh God,
like
yeah.
football in particular, right? Like all those blows to the head.
Yeah.
So it was
It was a creepy scene.
scary. Yeah, it was
And
just scary, really.
yeah. Um, and then I think like as it built out the movie, like the music was good.
Yeah.
But it was really like the shots and the sudden shifts
Yeah.
that were catching your eye. And then I wasn't exactly sure where the story was going,
Yeah.
right? Like I knew what the setup was kind of, but I wasn't
Right, to a
sure.
degree. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure how we were going to tie it all together at the end.
Hmm.
And I do really appreciate that in one of the final scenes when you finally learn what tapes what did I say his name was? Isaiah White has been going back to rewatch his tapes every night. He doesn't have time for this or that. He's gonna go rewatch some tapes. And I mean, I don't know. I was thinking it was just plays, like rewatching tapes of games and playing them back or something and thinking about improvements or whatever. And it was fans like just cheering.
Hmm.
And it was so creepy. And the visual was like him sitting down looking at the ceiling
Right,
to the
like,
fans.
right. Because he's used to standing on the field and looking up
Yeah.
at the stands, like, yep, worship me.
Yeah.
You know.
And that was a big piece. That word worship, like that they
Yeah.
were gods,
Yep.
like that was another
The name of the
aspect.
film, right? Him. That's like that's borderline religious in and of itself. You know what I mean? Like a capital H him. And it was capital
Yeah.
H, capital I, capital M, him.
Yeah.
So like almost to a greater degree than just capital HIM for him, as in Christ or Mohammed or God or whatever. You know what I mean? I thought that was on purpose.
Yeah.
Like it's not just the H capitalized; it's all three of them because we are gods amongst men, kind of
Right.
thing. Like they really sometimes get that kind of complex.
Yeah.
And
Well,
when
it's given to them too.
oh, absolutely, yeah, no, absolutely,
It's like set up that way.
encouraged at least.
Yeah.
It's fair to say.
And the whole idea of like, are you going to be the goat? Like, are you him? Are
Oh
you
yeah,
him?
yeah,
Are you the goat? And it's
yeah.
like, oh my God, like we're just like raising people to aspire for that exclusively. And if I don't have that, I have nothing.
Yeah.
Rather than even being happy or grateful or comfortable with what you've acquired
Right.
within that sphere. That's not just literally the best at any cost. Um,
Yeah, it seemed like they were sort of making the point that you'll either become the greatest of all time or you'll waste your time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? You're either gonna try and be the goat or what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like, why bother?
Right.
You know, which is
Like
creepy in and of itself, you know, because that's like super intense way to approach anything, you know, not really healthy, obviously, either.
right. And also just like wrong because in football you have a team
Yeah,
and players are necessary to do specific
functions.
yeah, as part of that team. So yeah. Um I think the other creepy part was the girlfriend was super creepy, but then also the addition of like the people with money, like
Ugh.
I guess they were the owners of the
Yeah.
teams.
Yep.
But that whole like scene and introduction was like, oh, like just another layer of cringe that
And
you're
uncomfortable. Yep.
yeah.
Hmm. More of that, like, ugh.
Yes.
And oh, I can see why if you were on the player side of things, you would be like, I don't want to have anything to do with that. Like, sure, we brutalize each other on the field, but like at least there are refs and there are rules and we know what we're getting into. But like these business guys, they talk and the way they do things, it's downright disgusting. It's
Yes.
dirty. I don't want to have anything to do with that. And it's like, yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that, but that doesn't make you trying to hurt people on the field like an okay thing either, right?
Mhm.
Like that beyond like what we're supposed to be doing here. It's supposed to be sport and entertainment, and it seemed very much like they were making it more of a life or death, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. I He wanted to sit with daddy. Um, I liked the ending. I could see people thinking it like didn't wrap up well, but I liked that. I liked that it was like this corrupt thing all tied together for like a much bigger corruption of the general population overall. I really enjoyed it. And um, I also think that what we saw with one person stepping away still didn't totally dismantle
No,
this entire system.
right.
And I
Of
think
course
that
not.
that was also part of
Yep.
like the sinister
Yeah,
aspect
part of
of
what they
it.
were trying to say, right?
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. Um, compared to other movies that we've seen, I don't know that it was my favorite,
No, yeah, it was good, but
like compared to the other ones from the same
right
people.
from recently, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan Peele, it's I think probably his like least impactful film that I've seen so far. He was an executive producer or producer, I think, or director, right?
Yes.
So,
Um, yeah, and I also just think it's like a touchy subject,
mm,
right? Like people do not want you talking poorly
about
about their
their
football.
football.
So I think that's an
Yeah.
aspect of it. But overall, I think it was good. I think it was well done. And I thought the acting was good. I loved the camera shots. I loved the setup.
Yeah, cinematography was very
Yeah.
good. I agree there, yeah.
I loved the cringe factor.
Artistically shot.
I loved that it was like a horror movie about football. I thought that was brilliantly done.
Yep, very,
Um,
very clever, very
yes,
true.
yes. Like I thought it was, yeah, like a crafted piece of art
Hmm.
that was different than others, but
Yes,
entirely worth seeing in its own right.
right. I suspect that the reviews that weren't as positive as our review is that those people are maybe just unfamiliar with like the culture of football. I think there is a lot of like discomfort that comes with knowing like how that stuff works and then seeing the film. If you're not familiar with how football works and then you see the movie, you might just think like that's crazy, that's stupid. Well,
Right.
no, never happened. And it's like, no, that was a high school kid
Yeah.
sometimes grab the mask and tell them, like really intense
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Like, and then sometimes the kids' parents are that intense, and it's like they're not okay with the way the coach talked to them, and the dad makes them feel worse because, like, well, that's your job. You're the whatever. You didn't do it, and so you deserve that. And it's like, they're high school kids, man. Ain't it supposed to be a game?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's not. Is it not a game? But
No.
I think they did a great job with that sort of, you know, parallels to
Football is life.
yes, right. But then also actual life, like
Yeah.
real life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we definitely recommend going to see it.
Yeah,
I think it's worth a little creepy viewing.
yeah.
And be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the graveyard soon.
It's launching.